Yeah, start the show, Dill.
We'd like to welcome everyone to the Junk Mail. We've got Dilnaz and Chocs Chats as usual. We're going to cover a little bit of the Tyson Fury fight, but we've got Jack Dickens, who is the founder of the Mailbag, and he's going to come in and have a bit of a chat about the Everest Caulfield Cup, world's biggest punters club. So huge stuff going on this week in racing.
Yeah, before we get to the racing, I just want to ask you a few questions, Dicko. So to set the scene, you're rolling up through KFC drive-through, mate. What are you ordering?
Zinger burger, small combo. I don't want to overdo it. You can overdo it if you get, especially if you get the bottle of Mountain Dew. I'm not ever thinking, Jesus Christ, I wish I could have a bottle of Mountain Dew, but a can of Mountain Dew, there's something about them. They're short and sharp and little extra salt on the chips. Zinger burger combo.
Can you
Easy.
Can you just do us all a favor and say Mountain Dew one more time?
Mountain Dew.
Wow, that's so funny. Oh, gross. Next question.
McChicken Macca's Zinger burger, Colonel.
Yeah. I love the extra salt stuff because it's the most saltiest chips ever. But Choc also does the same thing. He goes supercharged sauce, extra salt.
Yeah, you have to ask for extra salt just in case they don't put any on.
Yeah.
So I love him. That's why I wear his jumper around all the time.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That's a good start. So question 2, I've heard your thoughts on curls as a footballer. What about myself? What do you think of me as a footballer, even Dill?
I reckon you'd be a real yappy, lippy, annoying wingman. Sometimes a half-forward flanker if there's like an actual fit, accountable wingman in the side to have to push you to a half-forward flank. But you'd be a big like tram tracks operator. Curls would be a forward pocket, sort of long sleeve, but rolled up gently, like I'm Adam Uze. That sort of type. Complete non-chaser. And Dills would. I've never seen Dills in person, so this is all just a big vibe thing. But it'd be like a big semi-trailer on an ice rink trying to stop and turn. I reckon. Be a real straight line operator. Yeah. But it would kill blokes. Would kill blokes more so because he knows he can't stop.
Yeah.
Because he's also a non-chaser.
He's not going to burn me on the way back. He's going to be down too.
Yeah. You really are an expert, aren't you? I don't know who you've been talking to. Probably the reserves coaches down at Epping, but you've doing a great job. We'll get on straight to the third question. So you've got one packet of darts and one beer for the rest of your life, and what are they?
Ben Sanders Smooth, easily. God, I miss them.
Easily.
And Goat Lager. They've been very, very, very good to me and good to Mailbag. And Thanks it is the nectar of the gods.
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah,
I fucking love them.
I love the goat.
Yeah,
I don't knock the footy trip more. VBs, VBs till it's dark. Get out the oodles late.
Yeah,
you see the young boys sort of coming along, yipping, yapping, begging.
Speaking of footy trips, what's your best footy trip memory?
2 enormously great ones in Berry, which is like south of 2 or 3 hours south of Sydney. Great group of blokes. They were 2 rippers. Enormously good one in Brisbane, actually, Dill.
Yeah.
When I was real young.
Bit of Gold Coast action.
Came from the back and took the bog that year as an 18-year-old.
Of course you did.
I didn't do much on the field, but I dominated off it.
Yeah, and that's what we love.
That's what we're about. That's all what we're about on this show. That's it.
The Brisbane trip was the best. It was like fully like a big. You really learn a lot about like what culture was, off the track. The blokes I play with, the older guys did a Bible, so you got like a form guide for each and every player, and they read through the like each bloke, and they take the piss out of each bloke, give odds for best on, odds for worst on.
Yeah.
Did one in Thailand, but I almost fucking died.
That's how the Mailbag started. You started with the odds on footy trip when you're 18 and just worked your way up, and look at you today.
I went to Brisbane like a naive young man, and I left there with just a thirst for form guides and a thirst for pricing. And I did my own form guides from then on for the footy trips. I've handed on that to younger blokes now who I still talk to. But that's probably where it started, Choc, no doubt.
Yeah, that's what we love. We love that.
We actually had a similar form guide for when we did Falls. I think it was in 2016. And on the back end of that, we actually had to burn the form guides because there was too much interpersonal information in those form guides.
And it's disgusting. It's putrid stuff that you've written in there, like odds for a lot of other things, which is just when you look back a bit poor. But
I'd love to sit here and talk about all the things, but I'm really embarrassed and I'm actually starting to get nervous in case Dill lets something slip. So we'll move on to the next segment if we can, Dill.
Because let it be known, like I can ruin your life, Choc, and I will. But moving on into the races, we've got the Everest. Thoughts, best bets. What's your take on that one?
Sydney racing is not my specialty, and I think Mark Roden will push you into Nature Strip, which is a logical sort of play there in that race. I really like a horse in that race called Masked Crusader. Gets back, savage as a lion. So we need to see horses making some ground there in Sydney for it to be like a competitive chance. But I think it's ready to run a big race. Just need them to be able to run on.
Yeah, beautiful. And Caulfield Cup.
I like a horse here, Delphi. So it's second favourite. It was $6 last time I looked. Incentivised a Queensland horse from Toowoomba. We backed this horse in an 800-metre maiden at Toowoomba, which is as low as they get, and it lost. Now, fast forward 6 or 7 months, it's a favourite for the Caulfield Cup. I still can't have it. Delphi was enormous winning last week at Caulfield. Damien Oliver rides. He's stripping weight to ride this horse, saying he never does. He's the greatest of all time. He's the best rider there ever was and ever will be. So for him, a man who would have more money than God to waste for a week, that's torture. Big push at this horse is airborne, the Delphi. Well, it's just called Delphi.
To cover all that, Punt Club and also the Mailbag are partnered for World's Biggest Punters Club. Tell us what that's all about and how everyone can get involved.
I think there's about 1,000 people in already, Dill. You can do all that, do your own research there, but I think it's about 1,000. I think we've got about $60,000 in cash at the moment. I expect we start with about $150,000 to $200,000 to bet. First bet to be at Wednesday night. We'll be betting across Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and some Perth. We will not be betting in Adelaide. I hate that joint as a place to bet.
It's a company rule.
Great place to circuit, but a shit place to bet. Nothing wrong with the people or the scenery, but just a shit place to bet. Terry Bailey, an ornament to the racing game. I'm not sure if your audience know who he is, but you should. He's hosting. So we've recruited someone from TV to come and host in Melbourne. So he'll be steering me and the rest of us in Melbourne, and then we just say a prayer to fucking Zeus, Allah, Bilbo Baggins, Mary Poppins, all of them, every single god there's ever been, that Dill can somehow keep Curly on the straight and narrow for 4 or 5 hours up there at the Stock Exchange in Brisbane.
Yeah, so we're going to be there from 12:30 till 6. Me and Curls. I've got to wrangle the beast that is Shane Curlio. Part entertainment, part hunting gold.
Thoughts and prayers to Freddie too. Like, what an introduction to Mailbag life. He's been an intern for 2 weeks, on the tools for 2 weeks. In you go, son. Fucking ball.
Yeah, and he's going to come in and have to deal with the pressure for the pub. So, I don't know. The goal is just to not get handsy with Freddie at this stage, to be fair. But we'll see how it goes.
I've already had a chat to Curl. So we don't have a HR department yet. Please don't make me need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Just to wrap up with you, Dicko, there was some, like, I'm not a massive racing fan, have become sort of one during this kind of moving into the mailbag type stuff. But one thing that got me really toey was watching your I Am Thunderstruck video that Jono put together the other day. So I reckon we play that for all the viewers that maybe missed it during the week. But in between now and then, thanks so much for jumping on the show, mate. We'll see you on the World's Biggest Punters Club stream this week.
Thanks for having me, boys. Keep dominating.
All right, Dickens, you've been declaring I Am Thunderstruck for however long. Yep.
$6 was around when we were sort of pushing it in the Toorak, because it's an absolute moral in the Toorak if it's ridden properly. And let's have 250 on Thunderstruck to win the Toorak. I think On Thunderstruck should have won the Group 1, whatever it was last week.
Yep,
and it will win the Toorak.
Yep.
And On Thunderstruck's just a bet you got to have because it's the horse on the up.
I'm Thunderstruck got out, then Embolism, they're across the track. Tafane's bursting through at the 100. Tafane, I'm Thunderstruck, stride for stride. I'm Thunderstruck, finishes hard, gets a neck in front, and won the Toorak. I'm Thunderstruck from Tafane, Superstorm late. Wonder Mechanic in a photo for 4th with Embolism.
Obviously, Dicko is just an absolute genius. Was able to pull that one. I think he mentioned it maybe like 5 or 6 times over the course of a couple of weeks on different media outlets, and it definitely came over from there. So good on Dicko there. He'll be punting with all the other fellas, as we said, at World's Biggest Punters Club this weekend. But we did promise to speak about the Tyson Fury and Wilder fight. It was number 3. Wilder actually didn't really shake his hand after it, but it didn't really bother him too much because he was still having some fun after that. Voice of an angel, to be fair.
Now, I don't know if he's got a grouse voice or if I just like it because it's very entertaining either way, but I don't know. He could possibly be ruining one of the greatest songs of all time. You know what I mean? Like, you know who loves this song? Bergs. Bergs loves this song and does a better job too, and could probably kick his ass. Bergs could kick his ass.
Bergs couldn't kick his ass. I love how he kind of changes it. He says walking in Vegas, like, because obviously it's a nice thing to get the Vegas crowd up and about, and I get that.
It's the play words. All you got to do, it's all you got to do with Americans, man. You just got to be in their town. You be saying like those dumbest shit, and then you just go Boston, and then they just fucking erupt, man. They're nuts.
Or the fact that I like that Bergs does. He goes walking in Bergies. Which I
yeah,
really
that's another good thing. The play on words, any play on words is always good. It's always great.
We've got a really well structured sentence that we've got here from Chucky in this week's Facebook Cringe Memories. But I don't want to like really take Chuck's segment, so I'm not going to post it. So you guys, like, do you want to just introduce?
Well, you take everything else I start, mate. Yeah, you fucking scammer. Yeah. Scammer. And for those who don't know what's going on, message me and I'll tell you exactly what he did in 2006. You scammer. I'm going to be honest. I got no idea what that means. I'm so sorry. For a second there, people were thinking like, "Fuck, what did Dill do? What did he do?" Anyway, so 12 years ago, on the 12th of October, I said, "Get this up, Dill.
Yeah.
Is loving looking at the Australia flag." Now, a couple of things. I don't know why I said the Australia and not the Australian, but like, what the fuck? Okay. Even if I was looking at it, why did I go, fuck, I'm really enjoying this?
I actually looked up what happened on October 12th, 2009, because I thought, like, was it like opening ceremony, the Olympics? Was there some kind of reason as to why that Australian flag was so good looking on that day? I did find out that it was Columbus Day in America, and then I realized pretty quickly that it was an American website, and then I thought, like, fuck this research. Like, we don't do research on the show. Let's not do it.
Well, just goes to show there was obviously a bit going on in America, and I was too proud and said, "Fuck you!" So for 3 hours and fucking.